Joining me now, former Reagan White House political director, Fox Business strategic analyst, Ed Rollins.
Thank you.
Here. I just want to say, as we begin, the president wanting to use, it seemed interchangeably, the words wall and barrier. Very simply, it is a damn wall.
It's a wall. It's a wall. The most telling thing to me today was one of those gentlemen, bald like me. I think what you have to be in the border control, you have to be mean and old and tough.
There you go.
All are. He talked about
if they're half as tough as you, we won't have a
They've arrested
problem.
17,000 criminals at the border. 17,000, including murderers, rapists, burglars, car thieves, the whole nine yards. Think of that number, 17,000. And then he made the point, you can't stop these people with drones. You can't stop these people. You have to be there. You have to have a physical presence there. We need the wall. Those are guys that are on the line who want the wall.
Yeah. And by the way, that's Senator Jones from Alabama. The folks of Alabama should be very concerned if he needs a special tutorial in why a wall is needed on the border with Mexico. My God, it is where the majority of methamphetamines, marijuana, heroin, and cocaine cross. It is the most corrupt part of this country along that border because of the trafficking, drugs, human smuggling. It is just ignorance for anyone, a Democrat or Republican, to say, why would you need a wall? Because it works. It's that straightforward. The president campaigned on it. The American people put this man in the White House saying, build the wall.
Well, he's hanging tough, and I think he will hang tough through this whole battle. It's going to be a couple more weeks, I think, at a minimum. But at the end of the day, now's the time. If you don't get it now, you'll never get it.
Yeah, well, if you don't get it now, you're not going to have the country.
No, you're not.
And it's that straightforward. And the president, I think, as I've said on this broadcast throughout, and as we've discussed, this is his signature promise. It is the signature issue. It cannot be in any way, in my judgment, bargained away. This idea of DACA, I said last night, DACA is dumb. DACA as a bargaining chip is a mistake, and there is nothing that should be attached to it other than the well-being of the American people, the safety of the American people, and the security of this nation. And if they can't handle that, then leave the damn government shut down.
Right. Well, the Democrats will pay a price for it.
Oh, they're going to pay a price for it, and the fact is the rest of the country will pay a price
for it.
if we do less than defend our borders and the country. Let's turn to the Dems and what in the world makes them tick. This is the same old leadership team that brought us Barack Obama's first 2 years on Capitol Hill.
As I watched them today, there's many a night I wonder why I'm still a Republican. With Trump, it's easy. But I looked at that group today and I said, well, this is why I've been a Republican for 40, 50 years. These are the same people that I've been dealing with for 40, 50 years with the same ideas. They were putting forth FDR proposals today.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
There's not a new idea among them. I said at the top of the show, there is only one person with original ideas. There's only one person who means to get things done, and that is the President of the United States. And by the way, I'm including the Republican Party as well as the Democratic Party. You've got Mitt Romney making a splash because he ignorantly is attacking the only person getting anything done in Washington, D.C. How dumb is this senator from Utah? And by the way, people in Utah, I know you've got to be thrilled that you elected a guy based on an endorsement by the President of the United States who, before he even steps in onto Capitol Hill, is attacking the very guy who recommended you vote for him. I mean, what betrayal.
But you saw him all day today. He has a history of always stepping from one side to the other side on every major issue. And today he was trying to basically step back when every camera.
You call it stepping back. I call it slithering. He just kind of whines like a snake.
You're more articulate than I am about those kinds of issues. I just think he's the greatest waffler I've ever seen in American politics, and he did it again today. Talking about you need to build your relationships on trust. Who would trust this guy for a heartbeat? You know, he's a guy that Trump endorsed. He's a guy who wanted to be Trump's Secretary of State after he trashed him throughout the campaign. And as I said, he did the same thing to Ronald Reagan when Ronald Reagan was president.
Yeah, it's ignorant, and the left-wing media just loves Mitt Romney for a day. Where were they in 2012, right?
They weren't there.
Oh, man. Let's look at this economy and this impact right now. The markets are having fits. The Democrats aren't even discussing, really, the economy, except you heard Nancy Pelosi today, I'd say she's all about jobs.
Green jobs.
Is she paying any attention to what this president is saying, and Mitt Romney saying he's about tax cuts. These two people, Romney and Pelosi, are aping everything that President Trump has already accomplished. They're saying that's what they want to do. They sound like Jamie Dimon, the head of Chase, who went around saying when he was thinking apparently about running for president, he was just repeating, ripping off, stealing prodigiously from the Trump agenda. I mean, it's just silly what these fools do.
Romney be talking about bipartisanship, and his idea of bipartisanship will be whatever Nancy Pelosi wants, I want some of it too. And every single major issue that's been bipartisan, including the criminal bill that Kushner just pushed through, it's always the Democrat bill. It's never a Republican bill that gets bipartisanship. And my sense is, let's have enough of bipartisanship. Let's move the ball forward. Democrats obviously get to try and run with it. The Senate has to hold the line. The president will veto things that aren't acceptable.
And meanwhile, the America First agenda has to move ahead despite this. Ed, as always, great to see you. Thanks so much.